Hi everyone, and welcome to So Many Games So Little Time. My name is Joachim, and today we will be reboxing Euthia Torment of Resurrection. You can see I have the 3 boxes here that I finished with last video when I unboxed the expansion. Well, actually I finished with these 2, and this was the extra one. And I've got good news and bad news. So the good news is I was able to get everything into 2 boxes instead of 3. The bad news is the 2 boxes is this box and the other box that you got when you did the first Kickstarter. Because that box is a little bit higher than this one. So, sadly, that means that I still need this box if I don't use the other one. So, I'm gonna go through what's in these 3 boxes first and explain everything. And then the second part of the video, I will basically take these 2 and put it in the new box, which is actually the old box. Okay, we will start with what's in here. So once again, this is dented because one of my daughters went and sat on it. So, too bad. So in this box, the only thing I have here actually are the boards. So the boards of all 8 heroes, and also these 2 boards. These 2 are technically replaced with the new one, which is this, because it's smaller than if you put these 2 together. So technically you could get rid of these and keep this, but this is very flimsy, so I think I'll just stick to this. Or maybe when I really have some problems with too small a table, I might use it, but yeah, my preference goes to the other one. So that's all that's in this one. This does not fit, it's too big. Okay, so that's this box. Then we'll move over to the expansion box. So this one, right? And see what I put in there. So first of all, what I just showed you, this board, which is actually just a piece of paper. Well, a little bit harder, but yeah. And then I have all the hero sheets. Well, actually, whatever books are in here, you can also put in the other one or vice versa, just up to you. Basically, this has all the hero skills in it. It also has the lore and the art. It has the... I should actually throw this away because they're built. It's not necessary anymore. It has the achievements in here. It has the other building sheet in there and the campaign scenario stuff in there. But it doesn't matter what's in here or in there, because in the end, like I said, it's going to be 2 boxes or 3. So you're going to be using them anyway. So what else is in here? Well, obviously the elementals, they're on top. And then we have the original setup. Now you can see this is mostly empty. And the reason why this is mostly empty is because it's in those towers. So sadly, the only way I can get this out is when I remove the plastic first and then take the other sheet out. So these are the expansion miniatures, right? And then we have this whole session. And once again, I have to take this out first before I can get the whole thing out. And the only thing that's still here are some tiles. I might wonder, why are there loose tiles here? Well, they're all level 1s and 2s and 3s, the regular ones, because you can see the icon here, right? They're all supposed to go together. The reason why they're there is because underneath here are all the tiles, as you can see. Now, these bags came with the original Kickstarter. I'm sure with the full pledge they probably were there as well, but they're too big to put on top. So there's some space underneath this tray. So that's why I put them here. There's another bag with tiles, because if you put them in here, it gets too high. Actually, it's really cool. There's a lot of extra tiles, but now there's too many. So these ones, as you can see, is the same from the same one. Okay, the same type, just a plain arrow, basically, where I put it from. And the other ones, I just put them all in the bags where they're supposed to go, judging from their icon, right? Their token. So you can see these are the basic ones. These have the hooks. These have 2 gray hooks, and these tend to be colored ones. And this is the expansion. This is the purple one. and this is a little bit thinner, or at least not as high. So I just put it here, and you kind of have to shimmy this around a little bit. Now, I guess technically you could just say, you know what, I'm going to throw this insert away, and then you could do a better job of it all. But I like how the minis fit, so I kind of really want to keep it. Yeah, so that's it. I think actually I never did the bird in my unboxing. So here's the bird. I think I missed that one. Okay, so put this back. So this is fairly simple, this one. And I should also mention, this is a reboxing, but you can do it any way you want. I could spend a lot more time on it, finding even better ways to rebox all this, but actually I do not have the time with 3 daughters and a bunch of games waiting. So I am happy with my current storage solution, so that's what it's going to be. All right. The next box, and arguably the most important one. Before we continue, I would like to say that I removed these tokens from the game because these are all monster tiles, but they have no function in the game. They're all monsters and they're pairs, so you can play memory, the game memory. Okay, so I mean, you could keep it in the box and say like, you know what, we can play a game of memory and who wins gets to be first player, fine. But for now, I just removed it. I might throw it in there loose or put it back in the towers later, but I just removed it to do this whole reboxing thing, and also to let you know that it's not really useful. Or it's a fun thing, but not part of the game. Okay, so here we have all the rules, basically. We have the griffin, we have the scenario book, the appendix of the main game, scenario book of the expansion, sorry, rule book of the expansion, elemental scenarios, scenario book, the rule book. Okay, once again, those are interchangeable with the other box. Then here we have the familiar board. Okay, that's on top. Then the 2 packs of larger cards. Okay, you will see some of them are sleeved, some of them are not. The expansion I haven't sleeved yet, so it makes it a little bit easier to recognize which one is expansion and which one is not. So basically all the big cards just go together. I think it's kind of silly to separate them because there's not that many. One thing I should mention though, especially for the expansion, they do not mention in the rulebook that the cards are big in some cases. So make sure you check these large cards always, otherwise you're going to spend a couple of minutes looking for cards that you can't find and then realize, oh, it's a big one. All right, so you can see I have a bunch of baggies here on the side, right? So these are just some tiles from the expansion that I put separately because they're for specific scenarios. These are for the towers. There's also 2, you can see all the towers. And I also added the boss tiles here together because it's easy distinguishable. So just this one baggie. In general, I try to keep them all together according to the scenarios. This is from a scenario, I think, from the base game. So these are like magic things. They also use this in the expansion, but just so you know, I put them all together. Then these ones are all the same kind of tokens. These can actually go in the smaller ones, but because there's so many of them, I decided to put them in a little baggie. These ones are all expansion as well, basically all purple. The purple tokens and the purple squares and other things as well. You also have these ones, which go with the same scenario, okay? And these. And then the small ones like this. Okay. Once again, you can separate them as well if you want. It's up to you. But I like to keep things together according to the scenario. I haven't played the scenarios yet, so I think that's where they go. This is also from the expansion, the latest one. So basically, there's all the green type of tiles that are together. There's 2 types. I'll show them more in detail. I'll show you one of each, because a lot of the scenarios have the same type used together. So these 2, all right. And I think those are the only 2. Yeah. Okay. You can see these are all just put on the side. This is also from the main game. This is the golem scenario. So it has all the A and B tiles. It has the golems with the colors for all the heroes, except for the 2 expansion heroes. It has the plus 50 token for the score track. And it has 4 teleport tiles. So they all look like this. So technically you could put these in the towers as well, but because they're only used in this scenario, for as far as I can tell, I just put them in here. Okay? So that's what's in this bag. This one is also expansion, I believe, and they're all the same tiles. Because there's so many of them, I put them in the same bag. This is what they look like. All right. It's kind of a rule of thumb. If it all looks the same, it's probably going to be the same scenario. All right, and now we come to the interesting bits. So first of all, here in between these 2 sections, we have some regular tokens. Now, if you are wondering, or if you were wondering, what the cubes are, the black and the red cubes, they are for the player boards, for the hero boards. Then I put all these infestation tokens or whatever together, all these ones as well. Once again, they'll be used in certain scenarios. Then we have these. These are also all expansion, all right? These ones are used in the Mammoth expansion with like stomping and everything. These are these tiles. Those are in there. They're all the same. And then these ones have to do with the Hydras. And what is the other one underneath? Just the hearts. Those are the 2 that are here. And even has the extra one over here, which is this. Okay. Which is sometimes used during battle. Most of the time, a lot of the stuff are just like loosely put together. Once again, if it looks similar, it's gonna be together. All right, so then we have the smaller card storage option, right? So, and then the bigger one. I'll explain what goes where in a second. I'm just gonna take it out now, okay? So underneath, we have another baggie. These are all from the base game as well, or from the Golem expansion, one of the 2. And it also has some tiles. They're from the Golem expansion. It also has, or Elemental expansion, sorry. It also has these 4, these ones, and also these 4 together. Because they're part of the same expansion, so it's easier to find. And once again, the other tiles look like this. All right, they're all similar like that. Okay. So then here we continuously have the small ones. These are all the gems that are together, right? The gems, rubies, all that kind of stuff. Here we have Skuldur's special tokens. Here we have a bunch of tokens from the main game. Now, this, you might think, there's 3 of them. You might think it's from a specific scenario, which is true, but it's also used, there's like 1, 2, 3 as some kind of like tracker or whatever. So it's used in multiple scenarios. You can see 1, 2, and 3 here. Then I've got some loose tokens here as well that are sometimes used as a reminder. You've got these ones that I put there as well. But like I said, how you order them is completely up to you. Yeah, if it's similar, put it together. In the end, as you start playing, it will all become clear anyway. Here we have basically the tokens you need for fighting. These are all the ones that you can gain for rerolls and everything. These are the corruption ones, and these are extra tokens that you can temporarily have during the game, so to remind you. Like if you have a 3 movement and you spend 2 and you have 1 left, then you can put this on your board to remind yourself. Those 2 are together. Okay. All right. Then we have, these are all expansion tokens. As you can see, blue and red are together. And then the somewhat larger green ones here are together with the purple ones that have the armor on it and so on. Okay, those are all together. It'd be nice if it closed. Okay. Then here we have also, this is from the Eltrea, if I'm not mistaken. These are all the animals and everything, the tokens she can put on her board, as you can see. So those are all together as well. And then finally, we have all these elements, that you can collect, fire, water, and so on. You can then put on your board. There you go. Cool. So they all go in the middle, always side by side, and they go up, and they are flanked by the hero ones. The heroes are very similar. It's always the same. On the left, you have the tokens that you use to move, which are these round ones with 2 actions on them, right? Together with the trade tokens, which is this. All right, so they're together in there. Okay. Here is the health tokens. Here are the shields, and here are the mining tokens, and they're double-sided with elemental tokens. Okay, and you can recognize the shields with to see which hero it is. So as you can see, it's exactly the same, just for everyone. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. So here we have more regular tiles, which I will open soon to show you what's in there. Okay, I'll take these out as well for now. I can leave these in. Here we have this one, but I just want it to be like this, all right? Because it locks into the other one who's here, who also has the same thing going on. So they will then lock into each other when you put them in, okay? And of course, you'll put the tiles here to have the same back as on the front here, all right? Here we have basically the shops and all the tokens that go with the shops. There's a really big one, so it's nice to lie it down, because then this side is basically the storage solution of the first game, roughly. It's roughly the same. So this one will then attach to here. So once again, you just put in there what it says on the front. No need to open those because they're all the same anyway. It's just according to what's on there. And these ones, these 2 are heroes. These ones are others, so I'll show you in a second. These 3 are heroes, so you just put the tiles there. And these 3 are heroes, and just put the tiles there. And by the way, if you put the tiles there, make sure the ones with the emblem are on top, and then 0, and then go down. Don't put the high ones on top, because then it's going to be difficult to get your skills. Then we have the bag of money, which goes there. And then we have all the dice, which goes here. And then here we have the base minis, which I painted, right? So that goes here. So once again, these are all heroes. These are all heroes. And then you just put these ones 2 by 2 in any order, honestly. You're gonna have to open everything anyway. And then these 2 go in the end. All right. So let me just put back what we definitely do not need. So this one goes here. Okay, I'm gonna have to take this out in a second. There we go. Then put the rest back, or the ones that I'm able to put back anyway. I have to stop here because I have to show you what's in the other ones. So first of all, we'll start with the big card tower. So first of all, we open it up. So the top first and then the bottom. Make sure not to force it, of course. Okay, so for this one, I made sure to focus on the cards that I will definitely need every game. And there's a lot of them. So first of all, we have the golden cards, right? Now, I do feel like the gold is a little bit different from the base game and the expansion. So it might be better to get cards that have, or sleeves that have a colored back so you don't see it. Also, you don't have to use these because if you use these, you remove some of these. So these are the gold ones, only gold, right? Then we have silver, same idea. I think here the color is a little bit better, but I think you still see a difference. But anyway, Here we go. It won't matter in the solo game. And then here we have these cards. All these, they are the bags. These are for the different heroes, as you can see, all their emblems, right? And once again, the expansion hasn't been sleeved yet. There's also the Griffin card. If you have that expansion, I'll put it there as well. And then the 4 elementals, the cards that will tell you what they do. So they're also in that tray, because basically those cards you will use every round. Maybe not the Griffin, that's optional, but yeah. Then we have the level 1 NPCs, basically the people who give you missions. So once again, these are expansions or the alternate church and so on. And these are all the other ones that were in the base game. So they're all level 1. Watch out though, there's 2 cards. This is for the people who haven't played ever before. These are slightly different colored, and there are people on the back. This is normal, okay? The accomplice and the saboteur. This is normal, so just put them with the rest as well. Once you encounter them, you'll find out what to do in the appendix, if I'm not mistaken. And then here we have all the level 2s, once again expansion, and then all the other people you can encounter. So just look for the level 2s, put them all together. Don't shuffle them, and make sure that the same building is together, all right? And then the same buildings, otherwise it's going to be a pain trying to find everything. And then here we have the level 3s. Now there are way more level 3s than there are level 2s and level 1s. So the level 3s are actually in 2 compartments. Is it here? Yeah, so there's more level 3s here than the new level 3s are here. And then we have some level 4s, and then the level 5 legendary buildings who are black, which are black. There we go. So once again, you just find them, you put them together. So 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 5. Then here we have the monsters. There's a little bit less here. These are the level 1s. There's a lot of them that still need to be sleeved, of course. There we go. The level 1 regular monsters. And you can see they're regular because they have this little square here, this little box. And here we have the level 2s and the level 3s. Once again, expansion ones have not been sleeved yet. And then we have the, I put the other ones together. That is the bounty, oh, I did this already, sorry. Here are the bounties and also the legendaries. These are the legendary monsters. Now I put this one on top because there's only one legendary new one and I need to remember to sleeve it. So these are the legendary monsters, okay? So level 1, 2, and 3. And then underneath I have the bounties as well. Okay, so they suddenly go over into level 3 bounties. I should probably do 1, 2, 3 because now it seems like the same deck. But anyway, it says bounty. So there we go. So the bounties, hep. They're all together. Of course, these are optional. You don't have to play with legendaries. You don't have to play with bounties, but it's better to be. This one, of course, is the solo deck. So these cards, the other side looks like this. These are the solo deck. So I play solo quite often, so obviously that needs to be in there. And then these are the scenarios, mostly of the base game. We've got the Veruga cards. Easy because they all have the same color, right? And then Veruga again, this is a separate scenario. Okay. Then we've got the Golem scenario that I referenced before. And then these 3 are from the Golem expansion, the elemental expansion. They're used there. So that is basically the first card box. So let me just put this back in here, pop it back in. There we go. And then the next one. I really like the storage because before this, all the cards were in plastic bags, and that was a bit annoying. Okay, and then we have the smaller one, which of course has the expansion stuff. Now, I did a little bit of research, but not a lot, to try to get them all a little bit together. I know this is a ritual card and it has to do with this expansion. So I put all of these together, all these tower cards. Also with the expel cards, because you're doing a ritual and trying to expel these bad guys. Then also all these minion cards. So there's multiple cards of these. They look similar, but you can see the minion on the front, the minion here, right? And then the minion here. And it also comes with a minion card normally, but it's double-sided, so I put it somewhere else. This is the stomp scenario. Well, it's not the stomp scenario, it's this scenario, but it has stomp cards in it. So it's a different scenario, but I put them together. It also has colonies in the same scenario. So this is one scenario, and this is one. Although sometimes some cards can be used somewhere else, I tried to put them all together with what makes sense. For example, here we have the journey cards. This is a big deck of journey because you have 4 different journeys. And then I put them together with the personal quests, okay? Because they're both big decks. And also this one also has to do with like the co-op game. So these all, I thought it was pretty similar, so I put together. Of course, when you sleeve them, they're going to take up more space and you might have to move them around. These cards are for one of the expansion heroes, the Necromancer. Okay, that's why I put them separately here, so I can find them easily if I decide to play as him. Here we have the boss track cards, and here the boss reward card. Okay, and then behind them we have the 4 bosses: Behemoth, Crystal Golem, Fair Demon, and then 3 Hydras. Okay, and of course, because the Hydras are bosses, I decided to put the whole Hydra deck behind it. The Hydra moves cards together with the Hydra levels. Okay, there we go. Okay, and here we have another scenario where we have to fight this guy, and it goes together with these purple cards. All right, then there's another scenario where you can have these 2 companions. And then another scenario with the devil, which has these aspects. And this aspect card on the other side also has the minion rewards. So as you play with the minions, you also need this card actually. So you can always put it somewhere else where you can easily get it if you have to play with either, instead of putting it with this. Actually, I'm going to do that. I'm going to put it with the Necromancer. That's easier. Okay, then they go along with the blue towers and the red tower here. They're more pinkish. This is also one of the elementals, the corrupted elemental. I didn't find exactly where it comes out, so it's kind of loose. So I'm going to put it here as well. This is also a scenario: the blue tower, red tower, green tower, and so on. Then you have a whole deck of cleansing cards, followed by a whole deck of evocation cards. Level 2, level 1. Okay, so I put all those together. And then finally, we have this one, which of course goes to 1 scenarios: tower level 1, level 2, level 3, and level 4. Maybe some of those are supposed to go with this, but like I said, I haven't actually played the scenarios yet, so I just did what felt logical to me. Might not be, but whatever. Of course, everybody does as they please. Maybe at one point there will be an official reboxing, or if you have or if you solved it in some different way, please do let me know if I can improve my reboxing. Okay, and then we're left with 2 more. This is the tiles. So this is a tile with all the regular tiles. So basically, it could be a mix of all kinds of stuff. And let's see what I put here. The first one, these are all the tiles with question marks. So once again, it's this box. Yeah, with question marks. So all the ones of NPCs, if I have an NPC, I'll just take out this stack and I'll find the building that I need. And if I'm not mistaken, it is actually 2 stacks. Yeah, so these are the level 5 legendary buildings that might come out if the tile comes out. And then the rest are all also question marks. Now, of course, if you're smart, you will organize them according to level, which I did not do, which I can't tell you. But yeah, it saves you a little bit of time if it's organized by level. But so once again, these darker ones with the buildings on them and also names on them, these are legendary tokens. They come out when the legendary tile comes out. Okay, and then here we have a whole bunch of stuff that you can, wait, let me just do it like this. It's a trick. Up, and then everything comes out and all the rest stays. There we go. These are all like stuff that you can pick up or use. For example, from the expansion, you have the 4 light flasks that are in there. Okay, light flasks. Then I also have a bunch of healing potions, right? There's a lot of them. Then also sometimes you wear armor that slows you down, so you have to cover up some of your inventory. All right, spaces. So those are all these that are there. And also sometimes in the game you can go and deliver supplies to people. So you have to put this in your inventory. And you can see this is actually -1. That's what it means. Then you use one of those gray ones. And then when you deliver it, it turns into an empty basket. And then you bring it back. Anyway, these things tend to come out, maybe not every game, but often. Especially the healing potions, they come out. And these ones also come out. So it would probably better to put these on the top and the other ones on the bottom. So yeah, that's what I put in this box. All right. And I can imagine if this is the first time you play the game that with having all this can be quite overwhelming, but I assure you get used to it quite quickly. And then here with this one, you have the 2 hero stuff, right? Items. So there I did the following. All I have there is these ones that are used for one of the scenarios. Okay, that's it. Those are just those tokens. So as you can see, you actually have some space to put those tiles in there where you can play the memory game. But yeah, I'll give you an example of how you're supposed to do your hero. So you put the weapon, the sigil up top, because those are the ones that they start with. Okay. So these are base game, and these are expansion because they have a skull. And then you start with 0, and then you just go down. Normally everything should have at least 2, sometimes more. And you finish with the last one, which should be 40. And that's how you put it in there. All right. Okay, so now all that's left for me to do is to put everything back in the box as kind of like a, I don't know, final, you can follow along if you want, like that, I guess. Okay, so once again, we take one of these ones, put it here, and then we take, or I might just turn it around. Actually, no, it's fine like this. And then we take one of the ones that sticks out a bit, put it next to it, try not to damage it. Then we take the big one and turn it over. Place it like this. There we go. Then we take this one and turn it over. Put it on top. There we go. Then we fill this up, first of all, with some of the tiles. Feel free to... Oh, no, what am I doing? I'm doing it wrong already. You can see I'm not used to it yet. In this gap, we put this one. Yeah. Preferably not upside down. There we go. And then here we can put some tiles on top there, whatever fits kind of like. And then we put the big one on top. Yep, there we go. And then the smaller one next to it. Like this, yes. No. Flat. Yep, there we go. Then these two, like this. It has to be like this, not like this, because then it sticks out. Okay, so flat. And then everything else goes in the nooks and crannies that you can find. All right. And then once this is finished, all that remains is to show you how I'm doing it with the how I do it with the old box that I told you about. So once again, sorry about the people who won't have that box. It's a bit of a shame, but yeah, I remember when they initially did it, they said, oh, just keep the box. You might need it for later. Wink, wink, wink. But then of course everything happened. So, and then now with the redone version, the box is smaller. So it is what it is. So up, put it around so it's not as high. This is actually a bit too high now. So I'm going to take 2 of these books out and put them in the other box. So this is what the second box looked like, Legendary Collection, right? So if you're wondering what is in this box right now, well, it is filled with a bunch of stuff from Gloomhaven. So I'm just going to take everything out and then fill it up with the new stuff. Okay, so I put the bags back in. So expansion bag, the hooks, the special hooks, the one, and then I put some of these tiles in here. Like I said, it's trial and error. So I hope this all fits nicely in this older box. It does. There we go. All right, so I put this back in. And then this one, or in this case, I should put the boards in first. I'll put this on top, then the boards. So once again, all the player boards, and then these two. All right. Then I'll put this, and then all the rule books and everything else of paper stuff. And then put the top back on. And that is how I was able to fit the game into 2 boxes. I think 1 box is impossible, especially if you have the towers. Maybe without the towers and you remove the inserts for the miniatures, maybe you can cram it all in 1 box. I'm not sure, but I wouldn't try. I think this is once again, you can change everything. This is just my way of doing it, and if I talk too much, I'm sorry, but at least you have an idea now. My name is Joachim, and always will be, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Thanks for watching. So many games all the time. Bye.